Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Fathiya and An-Nisa. So in this video, I'll be telling you guys about the nuclear issue in the United States of America and the US. Before we get into the issue, we need to know first about what is a nuclear weapon. Well, a nuclear weapon is an explosive device that derives its destructive force from a nuclear reaction, neither a fission or a combination, or a fission and a fusion reaction. A nuclear weapon produces a nuclear explosion. Both bomb types release large quantities of energy from relatively small amount of matter. Nuclear weapon is also one of the most destructive inhuman and incriminated weapons ever created in this world, both in the scale of devastation they cause and their uniquely persistent, spreading, genetically damaging radioactive fallout. They are unlike any other weapon. A single nuclear bomb can detonate over a large quantity. It could kill a whole city, millions of people. The use of 10 or 100 of nuclear bombs will disrupt the world global climates and causing widespread famine. Next, we're going to talk about the nuclear weapon in the US because in this context, we're talking about the nuclear weapon issue in the US. So, the nuclear weapon in the US, the United States was the first country to manufacture nuclear weapon, and it is the only country to have used them in combat, with the first bombing in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II against Japan. And the primary purpose of nuclear weapon in the US is deterrence to prevent nuclear or large-scale conventional attacks by maintaining a credible threat and then devastating revelation. The first issue is aging nuclear arsenal and modernization. The source is from Armed Control Association. As of 2024, the United States is currently replacing or modernizing nearly every component of its strategic nuclear forces. This modernization program, which will continue throughout the decades and into the next, will require at least billions of dollars. It is estimated to be require at least $540 billion in occasional costs. The new strategic delivery vehicle will cost an additional $430 billion to operate and maintain over their lifetime. The National Nuclear Security Administration weapon activities will require an estimated to be $650 billion over the next 25 years. In total, the modernization of the US strategic force will cost at least 1 to $1.5 trillion over time. This nuclear weapon defense system will cost so much that it will trigger a lot of things that happening. Like it costs so much that it gonna put a big impact in the country financial. Okay, the second issue that I'm gonna talk about is armed control breakdown. The strategic offensive reduction threatly signed in May cuts the US and a Russian deployment strategic nuclear arsenal to between 1,700 to 2,200 warheads. Although a significant step forward, the long-term impact of 30 remains unknown because the accord does not require the scraps or the warheads or delivery vehicles removed from service. If the United States and the Russian are to cut their nuclear arsenal further and fully develop their merging strategic and partnership, Scientifically and irreversibility of arm reduction will be essential. Neither country, neither country must be capable of gaining an overwhelming unilateral advantage by quickly reconstructing its nuclear stockpile, a threat that concerned both Washington and Moscow today. So the last issue I'm gonna talk about is, of course, the public and environmental concerns, because we all know that a nuclear is the effect of a nuclear bomb is really destructive, and it not only costs so much, it can also be very very harmful for the environment, and because it causes so many radioactive reaction that can be so bad not only for the environment, for us humans too. So the last issue I'm going to talk about is public safety and environmental concern. I got this issue from the American Scientists website. And according to them, due to the use of nuclear weapons, substantial quantity of radioactive and chemical contaminants were released to the environment. And even today, a large quantity of radioactive and toxic waste remain in the storage of several sites. So, the American government decided to start a clean up program where they put the waste into a stable form and placing it out of the reach of people of the environment. Their examination suggests that it's a time for a cleanup program to refine success based on reducing and managing the human and the environmental health risk that will extend far into the future. So many issues regarding this nuclear weapon. The issue is not just about how nuclear weapon is dangerous, destructive, and also expensive. It also can cause so many health issue and environment issue to the country, from like the testing or the residue of the war or the bombing in a certain part of the US. So how do you solve this problem? I'm gonna tell you in the next slide how to solve this problem. The first way to solve this issue is public education. It's to promote and inform debate and transparency on nuclear policy. So, like, we need to educate people, we need to educate the public and inform them about this nuclear policy thingy. So not only it can control the cost of the usage or the production of nuclear, it can also make people understand what nuclears are for and what are the impact of the nuclear weapon in the country. Okay, the next one is independent oversight. It's like creating an independent commission of scientists, defense experts, and ethics to advise nuclear policy. So, another other than public education, if we wanted to start a public education, we need to have independent oversight. Someone who's independently, or like scientists, defense experts that can advise on nuclear policy throughout the country. And the last one is international leadership. Research US leadership is non professional, non proliferation, and environmental responsibility to inspire global cooperation. So, in this case, the international leadership is like the US government create a cooperation, global cooperation to other country with other country to help solve this problem. Okay, I think that's all, and I'm gonna tell you guys the conclusion of today's material. So the conclusion is nuclear weapons in the US will remain center in the US defense strategy, but there continue modernization and armed control challenges and environmental risk raise urgent concerns. Addressing this issue requires transparency, public education, independent oversight, and renewed international leadership to assure security, accountability, and long term safety for the future generation or the people in the US in general. Okay, I think that's all for me. If I said something wrong or I got a hit or miss information, let me know in the comment section. I apologize dearly. Thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope this video helps. Bye bye.